Okay, for the turkey roasting pan, I put racks on the bottom to keep the turkey off the bottom. Then I like to utilize some string front and back. What I do is I tie that one up around the wings to keep it together and one around the thighs. And I use that when the turkey's done to pick the turkey out of the pan so it doesn't fall apart. Okay, turkey's been stuffed and tied up. I stuff the back, stuff the cavity. I also put some filling up in the neck area and wrap that piece of skin down over to hold it in place. And all I do is rub it down with butter and a little bit of salt and pepper. Put cover the bottom with water, maybe 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, something like that. And then all I do is loosely tin it, and then it goes in the oven. Okay, and this is what I mean by loosely tin it. I just don't press the foil down real tight. So there's a piece underneath this piece here. I try and keep it as loose as I can, but I get the edges really well so the condensation don't drip out into the oven as it's cooking. Okay, she's ready for the oven. Okay, the oven's set at 3 1/4 Fahrenheit, and we'll call this 12:30 when in. I'll see how long it takes till she's done. What I'll do is I'll untin it in 2.5 hours, then baste it, and then let it start browning. Okay, unwrap the turkey. It's been 2.5 hours wrapped. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to baste it. Good old-fashioned baster. If you don't have a baster, if you have room to get in there with a gravy ladle or something like that, you can do that. Depending on how much liquid you have in the bottom. I don't have a whole lot, so I'm going to have to use a turkey baster. But this is what browns the turkey. I like to allow at least 1.5 to 2 hours uncovered. That's what gives you a nice golden skin. So I'm going to baste this. I'm going to add some more liquid to the bottom of the pan. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's not a whole lot in there. Now that this is uncovered, that's going to start to dry that up. So if you want pan drippings for gravy, you want to make sure you have plenty of liquid in there. So the game plan is I'm going to baste this and stick it back in the oven. And I'm going to baste it again in about another 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, it's been 50 minutes since I basted it last. That's 50 minutes. So what I'm going to do is baste it again, and I'm going to give that pan a 180 turn and put her back in the oven. Now, using this method here, covering it first, when you put it in, normally about 12 to 15 minutes per pound it takes, and this is a 16-pound bird. So I figure it's going to be about 4 hours. So I'm going to put this back in and check it in 30 minutes, see what the temperature is. You can normally start telling when the bird's getting done by just start separating when the legs start coming apart. You can just kind of tell. But so I'm going to give her 30 minutes. I'm going to check temperature on it, and hopefully this thing browns a little bit better. But if she's starting to brown, that's what that basin does. Okay, I pulled the turkey out at 4 hours and 15 minutes. I took a couple of readings, one right in the breast. That was 166. And I got one in the thigh. That's showing 167. That's just a little too close for me. I'm going to put her back in the oven. But the USDA changed the done temp for dark meat. It used to be 180. And now they're saying 165. But I like my dark meat to be a little bit better than that. But one thing I want to point out to you, when stuffing the turkey, when you have filling in there, one spot is right here where the thigh meets the breast, right down in here. You always want to check that. That's like the last, seems like the last place it gets done. I've pulled it apart already, and I know other people have done the same thing. When it's showing 165 in the breast, maybe even 180, well, not quite 180, but thinking that the dark meat's done also, then you end up pulling away the thigh from the breast, and there's blood down in there. So I always want to make sure that that area down there is done. That's showing 165. That's not good enough for me. I want that to be at least 175. So we're real close. Probably about another half hour. It's browning up pretty nice. So what I'm going to do to get that skin more brown, I mean, just for presentation. Doesn't matter, a lot of people don't eat the skin, but if you want a nice presentation, you want it nice and golden. So I'm going to baste this one more time, and I'm going to knock the temperature up to 375 and try and get a nice brown on this bird here, so she looks nice. Alright, so I'm going to go back in for 30 minutes at 375. Okay, turkey is done. It's nice and golden, as golden as I like to see. Some, as golden as it comes out sometimes, but it's got a nice even brown to it. With the light on it and using this phone, you really can't see it. That's got a nice golden brown to it. Okay, the temperature in the breast was about 173, and I have right there's 186 in the thigh. That's done. And this is the part, well, it's kind of hard to get down in there, but you want to get down in where that thigh meets the breast. That's 181. That should drop a little bit. It's 180. That's good. That's done. Right down in here, right where this meets. This is that's where it can stay bloody. And we have over 180, 186. Okay, this turkey's done. So now I'm going to pull her out and let her sit for a while. When I put the thermometer into the filling, that was only 160, and you want 165 degrees in the center of the filling. So that's one of the drawbacks of using filling. Sometimes it's got to stay in a little bit longer. And if you like a stuffed bird, though, that's kind of what you gotta watch and what you gotta do. So I'm gonna turn the temp back down to 3 1/4 and put this thing back in for another 20 minutes, and then I'm going to check it. I want 165 in the center of that filling. 20 minutes later, 167.5, if you can see that. Filling is done, turkey is done. Now she comes out of the pan, and the backup filling is in the oven. If you prepare your turkey the day before, like some people do, what I do is, first thing, well, you remove the filling, cut right down where the thigh meets the breast, and pull that away, and then take your knife and between the joint, you want to cut that and pull away the leg and the thigh. Do the same thing with the wing. Then if you want to keep the drumstick separate, then it's kind of like in an L. You just want to get down into the joint and cut the drumstick away. So you do that on both sides. And for the breast, if you cut right down along the bone on the top and take your fingers, square with a knife, and as you cut down with your knife, and you want to do this while the bird's still warm, if you take it, you just gently pull this away as you cut down with your knife, and you can pull the whole breast off on both sides, and you'll have two full breasts. Then if you put them in the freezer or in the fridge overnight, it'll be nice and cold the next day. Then you can take and you can carve them up. You can lay the breast, like here's the breast. You can take and you can make some real nice slices when it's cold, and have some nice long slices. They look really nice when you serve them up like you get in a restaurant. and then you just pull your dark meat. Now, if you want to serve this at the table, you do it the same way. You just cut away the leg and thigh and the wings. Then you just take a carving knife and with just a good sharp knife and just cut some nice pieces off the breast, some nice white meat to serve up. So that's a just a quick crash course on carving a turkey.